735 Bloom Daddy Radio Network. I just talked about a survey on the show that said 8 in 10 Americans still going to be a little leery once the government lifts all restrictions as far as getting back out there and doing what they were doing. Well, what about going back to work? There's still a lot of Americans out there who are a little leery about what that's going to entail. I want to bring on Cheri Perry, workplace culture and remote workplace expert. Cheri, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
So you think a lot of people are going to be apprehensive when it's time to go back?
I think that we're probably going to have two camps. We're going to have the, oh, my gosh, let me out of here camp, and we're going to have the, oh, I don't know, is it safe camp? So I think we're going to have a lot of people asking that same question.
So what do employers do here? I mean, I know there's a lot of employers because of this pandemic that are now thinking about allowing more and more people to work from home. Do you think that's what we're going to see? We're going to see more of a trend of, hey, you know what? You don't need to come to the office anymore. Just work from home.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic question. And I think what's going to happen is I think business owners and people that are in charge of large corporations are going to have to ask some very, very serious questions. Has our productivity gone up or down? Do we have the processes and the securities in place to permit people to be work from home people long term? The other thing that's going to happen is they're going to have a very, very good communication with their team members, because some of us are wired to work from home. Some of us, on the other hand, are not. And so the communication process is about to get real serious.
Yeah, sure. I had this conversation with somebody else who's in radio the other day, and they said, more and more in radio, people have their home studios, they're doing stuff remotely, and they think that's going to be the wave of the future. And I said, that sucks. I mean, one of the cool things about this business is coming into the studio, whether it's radio or TV. I mean, studios are cool, and I feel, me personally, Cheri, I just feel when I come in here, I get into a different mindset. If I were at home, I think I would struggle to focus.
Well, absolutely, and focus is a big critical factor. So let's give the listeners a couple of things to think about. If you are on the side of the equation that says, man, let me out of here, I want to go back to work, have a great communication with your supervisor or the leaders in your company and let them know, hey, I really do prefer working in an office. On the other hand, if you are one of these people that say, man, where has remote work been all my life, then you may want to go ahead and start documenting the fact this is how much work I'm getting done during the day when I'm at home, and I'm able to be super, super productive and be able to have those kinds of conversations with your management team and back that up with performance to give yourself an elevated chance of being able to maybe keep some or all of that remote working capacity that you've earned so far in this COVID-19 environment.
Talking to Cheri Perry, workplace culture, remote workplace expert. Also, too, Cheri, I mean, one of the reasons why a lot of employers cringed, I should say, at allowing workers to work from home, even if they could, it's kind of ego. It's I want that person under my thumb. It's a power trip. Do you see a lot of employers being able to let go of that? Being able to trust that their employees are getting done what they should be getting done and not being, under their watchful eye?
That is an incredible question. I was listening to a gentleman talk about workplace culture environments just last week, and he was saying that some people who still have this massive need to control literally have people set up with video cameras watching them in their home.
Oh, geez.
Which is just that's creepy.
Yeah, that's real creepy.
And so it just sounds weird. So honestly, good, strong leadership, unfortunately, is not usually micromanagement. Good, strong leadership is hiring the right people, laying out the right parameters, having good, clean, clear expectations so that you don't have to worry so much. If you've hired the right people, whether they're working remote or right there in your office, you shouldn't have to be watching them 24/7.
All right,
go ahead.
No, you finish. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, if you do have to watch somebody 24/7, you've got to ask yourself two questions. One, is it a me problem? Have a nice long conversation with that guy in the mirror and go, listen, are you okay? Make sure that you're not tipping over that ego edge like you mentioned. The second question you want to ask is, have I hired the right person? And that's where good conversation, clarity in job and work performance or indicators, key performance indicators, will help you know that I've got the right person. And then if you can confirm that you're not the biggest part of the problem, obviously then you probably don't have to have that, watchful, controlful eye on your team.
All right, let's switch to the other side of the spectrum here, and that is people who are going back into the workplace. Are we going to see a new type of workplace, a more non-invasive workplace? I mean, the days of gathering at the water cooler, are those over? Gathering at the lunchroom, people whispering in their cubicles to each other, pulling their chairs up and whispering. Are those days over, at least for the time being?
Well, as your official workplace culture expert, I'd sure like to have those days over anyway, that where we're not spending a boatload of time at the water cooler or whispering and in hushed tones because who knows what's happening. But I will say this. I do not see us returning to work as normal. We're definitely going to have a new normal where people are a little bit more sensitive to that space. I mean, we even had a guy come in the office last week to do they pull and replace the carpet and clean the bathrooms and so on every couple of weeks. And so he came in, and I found myself just as a natural hugger person, almost like, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to be in your space. So I think we're going to see a lot of that, and I think that will absolutely change what that work environment looks like. But I do think that just like we always do as Americans, we're going to figure it out. We're going to find the new normal, and we'll hopefully be able to come back into the workplace if we are working in a work office and be very efficient and productive without invading people's space. Or if we're lucky enough to be able to stay working in a remote place, we'll still figure out how to stay connected and how to make sure that we're still a team at the end of the day. Very important.
All right, Cheri, thanks for the insight on this topic.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right, Cheri Perry, workplace culture, remote workplace expert.